This is absolutely amazing. I now understand why you, as the community, suggested that to me, because a few people were telling me I really need to get this game, I would like it. And yes, I absolutely like this. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and I'm really excited because today I'm going to bring you Reforest, Plants of the Pacific Northwest Coast. A game of strategic forest succession. Oh, I'm not going to butcher the names too much, but this is designed by Sebastian Bernier-Wong and illustrated by Janine van Fram. And this is a game like a tableau builder for 1 to 4 players. I've only played this solo and I absolutely love this game. So I finally was able to get my hands on it because I missed the Kickstarter back then, and man, do I love this game. I will structure the video today as follows. I will give you my playthrough of the game, and then after the game, I don't have a full review, I don't have anything scripted, but I will just give you my impressions of why I like the game so much. By the way, when this video goes up, I think 2 days after that, the Kickstarter for the expansion will go live, and I'm sure you can also get the base game there. If you like what you see here today, feel free to check out the Kickstarter. I will put the link to it in the video description. I did not receive a review copy, but I still want to show it to you because I really, really like this game. All right, before we get started, grab yourself a cup of tea. Yeah, just the right temperature. Okay, so let me just get this game out here. So in regards to setup, I don't think I really need a montage today. In essence, what we do is we have these animal cards here, right? And then also we have they're called visitor cards, and then we also have these plant cards here. There is an events module. I will not play with that in this video. Also, I don't think it is as suited for a solo game than for multiplayer game. But here we have all these plant cards, and we have the visitor cards. So what we do is we just shuffle up all of the plant cards. I will just give them a rough overhand shuffle because I've been playing the game several times, and the cards get shuffled around all the time as well. But let me just give them a few shuffles here. There we go. And then it depends on the player count. In a solo game, you will just take 30 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I hope I did not miscount. And then these visitor cards, they have a different back here, like this really cool eagle back. And you just shuffle these up as well. Let me just give them a cut. And you draw 3 of them. And then, the cards I just drew, I'll just give them another shuffle and a cut. We take 5 cards of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my hand, right? I will just put it over here for now. And then we draw 3 of those cards. For the nursery, I will just put them up here like this, like that. And then we take 3 of the 3 visitors here, right? I will just put them right below here. And then we take 6 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put that stack under the first visitor. Oops. The really cool mechanism also that I will show to you a little bit later. Oh, come on, now I messed everything up here. And then another 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the second stack here. Like this. The third card we will just leave it like this, and then the rest of the deck we will just put up here. This will be just the plant deck to go through. This is the nursery. These are the visitors. So these are the goals that we're trying to reach, but these are optional as well. And these are just our 5. This is just our hand. Let me just put them here like this. It should kind of work. I might have to do it a little bit like this, right? But we will get that for sure. Okay, I think that's fine. And that, let me just think. I think that already is the setup. What we also need is room for a discard pile, but I will just keep the discard pile here off screen because we don't really need that right now. All right, so and now we are ready to start the game. In essence, what we are trying to do, we are trying to build a tableau here of plants. We are starting at the lowest elevation, so we have 3 elevations. The bottom one, then this elevation here in the middle, and then the top. And we are building a pyramid, right? So we will have 3 plants here. Then we have another 2 plants here and 1 plant up there, right? So 3, 2, 1, a little pyramid. But we don't only play 6 cards, we can place more than that, right? I will show you later how that works. And we will get points for several things at the end of the game, just so that you know what we're kind of aiming for. We will get points for all the plants that we have grown here, that we have planted, but not if they are turned over as stored energy. I will get to that later, how that happens, but these will not count as the point value here. But the stored energy will give 1 point each as well. Then we also have like cards with scoring effects. We don't see any right now, but these have like a yellow banner here. And these then have like specific scoring effects if they are visible at the end of the game. I will also explain a little bit later how that works. Then we have the visitor bonus. These are specific goals we try to reach for each of the 3 rounds we are playing. And it just tells us like what we need to do when we're playing solo. There's a multiplayer row and a solo row. The multiplayer row always means that you're like trying to compete for that, right? And whoever like has like the most of whatever is asked here gets that card. And in a solitaire game, you need to reach like specific number of whatever you need to reach, like depending on which round you're in. And then you get like these 5 points here denoted in the top and bottom right. And the last 2 things you get points for is you choose the stack with the fewest number of cards per elevation, right? So if I had it like this, for example, at the end of the game, then the stack with the fewest number of cards would be one of these 2. That's just 1 card, right? And that gives me like 2 points per card, like that. And last but not least, we get points for 2 cards in hand at the end of the game. So if I have 6 cards in hand at the end of the game, I get 3 points. Just so you know what we get points for, and no, this is not a high score based game, because like a beat your own score game, because we also like look at the value of all the plants in this game, of the 30 cards that I just drew randomly. We need to be above that score. But I will like explain later how that works. You will not understand all of that now, but just that you have heard it once, and then it will make sense as we play the game. Alright, so, and now we're playing the game, and we are playing through 3 rounds. The end of a round is triggered whenever this deck is becoming empty. That can also happen during my turn, right? That is possible. And then I will just do the scoring, and then I will do the round end stuff, and then I will continue with the rest of my turn, or with the next turn, depending on where I am at the moment. Alright, so we can do 2 things during a turn. We can either draw cards, like gathering plants, or we can play a plant, like play a card here. If we gather, we just take 2 cards from here. So for example, I would take this card here maybe, and then 1 from the deck, or I can take 2 from here or 2 from the deck. I will replenish them at the end of my turn, which is after I have gathered. In a solo game, whenever I have gathered, so drawn cards, I need to take 1 card from the nursery or from the plant deck and discard it, right? So that like also accelerates the timer of the round. So I don't want to play I want to do like the gather action too often. And the other thing we can do is play a plant. If we play a plant, we need to take care of a few things. First of all, up here on the left is the elevation. This one can only be placed at the lowest elevation. That's fine. We need to start at the bottom anyway. And then we can like play also plants in adjacent spots. So if I put it here, I can play it to the right, to the left, and also like the 2 above here in the pyramid, right? Not the very top. The next thing we need to pay attention to is how much the card costs. It costs 3. That means I have to pay 3 for this card. There are 2 options to pay for the card. One of them is by discarding cards from my hand. Like each discarded card counts 1 towards that cost. The other thing is during the game, I will also have maybe stored energy here. These are like cards that are turned over, and if they're adjacent to the plant I want to play, I can also discard those to pay for the cost. So I think that's the most important thing you need to know for now. And now we'll just start playing and explain the rest as we go. So we have a few cards here. Let's take a look at the goals first, because these actually are important for knowing what I will play. This one here, the Roosevelt elk, says that I need like these green like ice symbols, right? And you see like these trees, these plants always have like these symbols at the bottom. Might be a little bit small on screen, but the one with green, I only have one over here. The arbutus, right here, you see like the green symbol. They're always in the same position, so I can like easily see like, okay, these all don't have that symbol. That is bad because since this is the first round, it says like 3, 5, 7 here, but we take the first number because it's the first round. I need 3 of these symbols. But I can't see 2 here, so I might want to draw these 2 and also build those, right? So I might actually do that. Then at the end of the second round, we want to have like 4 yellow symbols, and we have like all of these have a yellow symbol here. These 2 have a yellow symbol, so that is going to be quite a little bit simpler, I think. But they need to be in the canopy, and that is like the little issue here, because we have the understory and the canopy. The canopy is always like the top card in a stack, and the understory is always like all cards that are like below the top card, right? And this goal means we need to have 4 of these symbols in the canopy. That means we need to have like 4 top cards with that symbol. It's manageable, but this like requires some timing here. And this one says like we need like trees or plants with a sun symbol here on the top left, and we need 4 of those. The sun symbol is kind of tricky to do because we have like 2 different cards. Let me just say that. The one with the sun symbol here and the one with the half sun, so the shade symbol. And these sun symbols need to be visible here. Whenever I put a card on top of another card, I always cover it completely except for that bottom line, which is like the understory overview, to like still have these symbols and the points, right? But all the effects and everything else is covered. And just one last thing, then we really get started. Whenever we cover one of these shade symbols, that's fine. That means these are plants that can be in the shade of other plants or trees. So I can just build that on top of there. If I do it the other way, then I would have to turn the one with the sun over like this. And that means now this is not the plant anymore that I actually need. It's just stored energy that helps me to pay for plants, right? And also I always need to put like higher plants on top of others, right? So I could put the 35 meters card on the 20 meters card, that's fine, but I couldn't do it the other way around, right? Because that one is not as tall. All right, so now we can really get started. So let's just see here. We need like these green symbols at the end of the round. I only have this one here, right? And so I could draw these 2 cards here just to kind of get in the direction of that goal. That would be kind of quite easy to do because these 2 cards are quite cheap. But you see here, this card, we could like kind of combine it because this card only costs 1. And if I cover it, I can draw 2 cards from the nursery, right? So that could also be something I could be doing, right? I could place down a card that is 1 victory point at the end of the game. It's also a shade card, right? That means that it actually grants me those points even when covered. And then I could like place another card on there and draw 2 cards immediately, right? So I would like kind of save like 1 turn pretty much, right? That might be an idea. But apart from that, this card does not count towards any of these goals, right? So we need to think whether or not that is a good idea. But this way I can draw 2 cards. Another one is here, the Thimbleberry. Also, when played, these are like different effects. Like when covered is that gray one. The green one is a passive as long as it is like in the canopy at the top card, right? Then we have like these white effects when played. It's just a one-time effect. Then we have these reaction cards, these reaction actions. These are these reaction effects, these pink ones. These like always like happen like whenever something specific happens, these can trigger. And then we also have like the yellow ones for the end of the game, like the scoring ones. I think these are all that we have. This one says when played, draw 2 cards from the deck. I can keep 1 card and store 1 under the stack. That's actually a good card to start with because we have 1 card to actually, we could actually have like 1 card to pay for other cards. This one lets me discard 3 cards if I want to when played and draw a visitor card. So we have 1 more visitor card because usually, let me do it so just it's complete. Usually put the visitor cards here, but these are only necessary if you actually have a card that lets you draw another visitor card. When played, draw as many cards as there are players plus 1, so 2 cards. Give each player 1 card from your hand. So I would like keep all the cards. That's actually not too bad either. When played, costs -1 if taller than all adjacent plants. 35 meters, that's possible. All right. So I think I will start actually wanting to play the minus letters, I think. I think that's pretty good. Is there a card that I don't want to? Because like all cards that are discarded, they will come back in the other rounds, right? And this one is a very high card, like a very tall card. I don't need that at the moment. It does have that symbol that I need, yes, definitely. But there will be other cards as well, I'm quite sure. So I could discard this one, but actually let me discard this one here. I don't need this at the moment, right? This is like a very tall card. Also, it has the yellow symbol for the second round, so it's okay to discard this one, right? So what I will do is the minus letters. I can play it in the lowest and low and middle elevation, so I will place it right here. And I have to discard one card. I will discard the big leaf maple for now, right? So let me just put that to the side here. All right, so that was already like my first turn. I played a card, paid for it, and that's it, right? Another turn would be to draw cards, but let's worry about that later. All right, so, and now I would like to cover that one. I could cover it with the 3-meter one here, but that one, for that one, I would have to pay 2 cards, which is a lot, right? That means I will have to draw cards anyway. So you know what? What I will do, I will actually do a draw card action. I will draw these 2 cards here from the deck. Put them right here. Just to pay for cards. Maybe these are even good. So let's see about that. And now, since I did the gather plants action, I now need to discard 1 card from the nursery or the deck. This one here is a pretty cool one if I have more ferns, because that one has a passive that all ferns cost -2. So that means I can like really stack ferns, but I haven't seen any yet. So I don't think I need this for now. Maybe we can work with that in the second round. Let's see. I will discard this one here. And then I actually... Now maybe I will not discard this, because this gives me the symbol I need. I'm stupid. This one I could rather discard. Yeah, let me discard this one rather. And then now it's the end of the turn. So now we replenish the nursery here. All right. The shore pine. No ferns so far. Interesting. All right. So I would now like to play the... Let me play the thimbleberry, I think. Because this one is... Well, actually, this is 0.35. That's interesting as well, because this one has a reaction whenever you cover a yellow plant, like a yellow symbol here, draw a card. That's also good. We could have a little card draw engine. I actually liked this card. I used this in one of my playthroughs quite a bit. And this has like 0.35, lowest elevation, right? So I can actually place it on top of this card. It costs 1. That's fine. This one isn't too bad either. I also would like to keep this one. Which one don't I need for now? I think I would need this one here for now. It doesn't have a symbol I need this round. So this one costs 1. So, but now we have the succession bonus. That is really cool. Because you might think like, oh man, you always have to pay for these cards. It's so expensive. You have to keep drawing cards. Not quite. Whenever you cover a card, right? You need to pay for that cost. But you always take a look at the top card below it that you can see, right? So if we had like 2 cards here, I would only take a look at the top card here. And we take a look at the cost. This costs 1. That means this one can also help pay for the card I'm covering it with, right? This one has a cost of 1. So I'm going to be subtracting this cost from that cost. This costs 1 minus 1. That's 0. That means this one is actually free to play. I can just put it there. That is amazing. Because otherwise, this game would be impossible to play. I missed that rule in my first playthrough, and I was wondering why I was doing so bad. But then again, I'm still bad at this game, right? But I still love it. All right, so I played this card. I paid for it. Wonderful. And this one will stay this way because it's a shadow. It has like this shade symbol here, right? So it will just stay the way it is. But this effect will now trigger. When covered, draw 2 cards from the nursery. Well, that's perfect, because I wanted to have these 2 cards here, right? There we go. And from now on, whenever I cover a yellow plant with a yellow symbol, I draw a card. As long as this card is not covered, right? So I will now leave this in place for a while. All right, so I can take these 2. I don't have to discard a card from here because that was not a draw plants action, right? It was just an effect here, right? That means I don't have to discard a card. And it's the end of my turn, so I will just put these 2 right here. So now you have seen almost like all the important mechanisms of this game. So, we want to work towards that goal. The goals are not like the most important thing. If you don't reach the goal in a solo game, it will just be discarded at the end of the round if you can reach it, and that's it. You just will get these 5 points. In a multiplayer game, these cards will stay there. And like they will, because if two players have the same number of whatever is needed here, have a tie, then this card will stay and will again be evaluated in the next round. In a solo game, you just discard it, right? But 5 points is quite a bit. So if I'm able to do that, that would be amazing. Because 15 points is a lot. So let's see. These are like these green symbols. Let me just put all the ones with the green symbol here on the left, like this. These are the cards that I want to play. It's kind of an issue because this card is like a little bit tall. I don't want to play this at the beginning, right? Oh, there's a fern. That's good because ferns cost -2 if I play this one. All right, so what I want to do, I want to have this card. Because this one also has a green symbol, but it's also so tall. But that, I think that might be okay because that's 20 meters. That's 30. And later on, 35. So I could kind of stack those. So I have like one spot where I have like a lot of like tall cards. Maybe. Right? Let me see. I think it makes sense to start playing these cards first here, right? This one here, for example, I can play at any elevation. It costs me 1. All right. I can work with that. And this one is a little bit higher. So what we can do, I could play this one here, right? But if I play this, it says when played, discard 2 adjacent stored energy. If I do, draw a visitor card. But I don't know if I want to play with stored energy. I have two sun symbols here. But this one I will not be able to cover for a while. There's one sun symbol. Okay, that could work. I could draw this card, place it, then cover it with this one here. And this one I can also cover with something else maybe. But is that so important for a visitor card that I may not be able to reach even? I don't think so. I will just play this, so the effect will not trigger. I will have to pay 1 card. The card that I need the least probably is this one here. Yeah, the Thimbleberry. It's not bad, but it's also not amazing. So I will discard that one, I think. Yeah. Let me discard that one. Okay. That means I paid for the card, right? It is a sun card, so as soon as I cover it, it will be turned into stored energy, but that's not too bad. That is quite okay, actually. Alrighty, so the Fairy Slipper is the next one I want to play. Because this gives me also an effect, and that is the After Gathering effect. These blue effects are like before or after gathering, right? So now I would have a reaction card, I would have an After Gathering card, and these are all like card draw engines, right? And that's pretty important in this game. So this can also be played at the middle elevation. So I will place this here. This one costs 1. So 1 minus 1, that's 0. So I don't have to pay anything. But this is like a sun card. So I have to turn this over. But that is pretty cool because now I have 1 stored energy. And now I can pay with this card for adjacent plants, right? So for here, here, there, there, and there. Adjacent means in an adjacent spot, no matter the elevation, but it also means cards within a stack are also adjacent, right? So this card here in the understory would also be adjacent to that card, for example, right? So that's pretty cool. All right. So and I did cover a plant with this yellow symbol. That means now this reaction triggers and I can draw a card. And I think I wanted to have that fern, right? Because then this fern is actually free and stuff, so that is pretty good. And this one also gives me like a scoring opportunity at the end of the game, +1 for each fern in your region. That is not too bad. But I think this tree is now more important at the moment, right? So let me... Oh, but that one actually has a scoring condition. So do you see? You always have difficult decisions to make here because you think like, okay, this one great, I can cover this one with that one here. That's great, it's free. This one will be stored energy, wonderful. But then I don't have the scoring opportunity here, right? But I think I rather want to go for these goals here. I think that's more important for now. Instead of that one. That one gives me like +2 points if it's at a corner of my region. So either one of these bottom ones here or the top one. That's good. But I could also just use it as like stored energy, right? I think that's better. So I will actually take this card. That one costs me 3. That will be very expensive. But let's just see how we can do that. Oh, another fern. Okay, now I have all the ferns. Okay, that is going to be amazing. We can definitely work with that. So, and what I would like to do now is gather, right? Gather these 2 ferns. Then I can draw an extra card from the nursery. And then I have to discard one and then replenish. But if I do that, then I take these 2, I discard one, replenish these cards, and then the deck is empty. That means the round would be over, but I couldn't reach that until then anymore. Let me see if I'm able to reach this before I end the round. It's possible that I'm not able to reach that, right? So, this one costs me 3. This one costs me also 3. I can place those on top of each other. That means that this one will be free, right? So that is something that I can do. And that means then I have... Oh, but I only have like one of these symbols then. I have a second symbol here that costs me 1, okay. And then here, this one would cost me nothing if I played this before. I have an idea. Take the Pacific Dogwood that only can be played at the lowest elevation, right? And I will place this... I think I would like to try to play this in one of the corners as well at the end. But here I would like to have like something with stored energy because like almost everything is adjacent. So I think I will play this actually here because I can play it there anyway. This costs me 3 now. Actually, I could also do it differently. Let me place it here. And now this costs me 3, right? I can pay with one of these cards here. And then I have to discard 2 more. So let me discard this one here then. And then I need to discard 2 more. So let me discard then these 2 here, right? Like this. So this one is played. This one now says when played, draw as many cards as there are players plus 1, right? So I can I can draw 2 cards. And I will draw these 2 ferns here. Like that. Okay. And then at the end of the turn, we need to replenish here. The deck still isn't empty, right? It isn't depleted yet, so we can still play. Oh, I don't have enough of these symbols here. I don't. Then I kind of made a mistake here. I think I will not be able to get this here, right? I don't think I will be able to do so. So, you know what? Let's just scrap this one. Let's work on that one with the canopy later on. That's going to be simpler. So let's just continue playing, right? Then actually, let me just reverse one thing. Instead of having played this one here, like discard this one, I would have discarded that one instead. Okay, that would have made a lot more sense. So I think I want to play this card here, the Licorice Fern, right? This one costs me 1, and I don't really want to pay with anything else. So I think what I want to do instead, I'm going to place this over here. Then I can't do the After Gathering action anymore, but that's fine. 1 minus 1. So this one is free. I will just place this over here, like this. All right, and now I want to play the Deer Fern, right? I'm going to place it right here. But this one would cost me 1, but it doesn't, because we have the passive ferns cost -2. So this one is free. Amazing. So I will just play this there. And then I can also place the Bracken Fern, which I will do. I will place the Bracken Fern over here. 2 minus 1 is 1, but ferns cost -2, right? So I can just place this on here. That is fine. And now this effect triggers. When covered, draw 2 cards for each fern in your region, including this card, right? So I can now have 3 ferns here, right? That means that I can draw 6 cards, which is pretty amazing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 2 cards to draw, but I can't because the deck is empty, right? But remember, 2 more cards to draw. Now the deck has been depleted. That means the round ends. What we do at round end is that we first take a look at the scoring conditions, right? Of the round end visitor, the Roosevelt elk, wants the most of these green symbols. I only have 2, right? So I didn't reach it. I need 3. So I will just discard this one. That's 5 points I won't get. And now we see, oh, there are cards below that. Well, what we now do is now we reset the deck. And we take all the cards under the visitor plus the discarded cards. We shuffle them together well. Let me just do a nice few shuffles like this here. And then we put these cards right here. We, of course, replenish the nursery as well. And now we continue our turn. We were in the middle of the turn and could draw 2 cards more, remember? So we will do that now. And do you kind of see now how like the game evolves as well, right? Because there are now cards we will see again, those we discarded earlier, right? But we will also see new cards, right? So it's pretty cool because you don't go through the same deck every time because the deck actually changes for each round. That's pretty cool. All right, now at the end of the round, you want to have the most. We want to have like 4 yellow symbols in the canopy, like the top cards. At the moment, we have 2. That's fine. I don't think I will. I will like go over that. Like cover that one too soon. Also, I forgot to trigger that when I covered this one here. I think, right? I should have drawn 1 more card. So let me kind of do that now, if that's okay. And we can draw 2 more cards. So let me draw 3 more cards. The Thimbleberry is pretty cool. I think I want to have that one. And then 2 more cards. This one is not interesting for now. This one is the Shore Pine again. +2 if at a corner of your region, but we don't want that at the moment. So instead I will draw 2 cards from here, like this. And then we replenish here. Okay, so now we always look at the end of your turn. You always take a look at your hand of cards. You can only have 7 cards max, but I have 7 exactly, so we are fine. So do we have any ferns? I don't think so, right? No. And there are no further ferns in the deck unless we have some under the new cards. That means I could actually cover that one quite soon. Okay, so we need yellow ones in the canopy. We don't have anything in the canopy here yet, but this one I'm going to keep this way because this one gives me like 2 points for the fern plus 3 extra points for these 3 ferns. That's 5 points. That's not too bad. So I might want to keep that there. Okay. So let's see. We could actually build over the licorice fern now. I think that would work. So let's see what we could build there. Like almost all of these, right? This is like 0.6 meters. So we cannot place these 2 over the fern here. Like these 2. But apart from that, we could build everything over the fern. The Thimbleberry, no, the yarrow is the one with the lowest elevation. So would make kind of sense. But we also could build that one like at the top there, right? That would make more sense maybe. And the Thimbleberry, we could put that right here. That would be kind of cool. When played, draw 2 cards from the deck, keep 1 and store the other one under the stack. That's not too bad. That's a pretty cool thing actually. So I think that's what I will do. I think I will play this one then. That one costs me 2. So I would like to play this on this one here. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we still have to pay 1. Let's see. This one here, when covered, you can move this to an empty space. That one is only kind of interesting. This one is draw 2 cards. That is always good. So I think I will just discard this one for that. So we can place this here. This one now is a card with a sun symbol. So we turn that over as stored energy. But I always put the stored energy like at the bottom. It's just easier to see. Like this. And now this one says, when played, draw 2 cards from the deck. Like this. Keep 1 and store the other one under this stack. So let's see. The Western Trillium costs 1. When covered, store any 3 cards from the discard pile under this stack. That is really good. Like towards the beginning of the game, and we're still like kind of at the beginning, so that's fine. This one is a passive. At the end of your turn, you may store up to 2 cards from your hand under the stack. That is good, but it like depletes my hand very, very quickly. This would be kind of good for the end of the game, maybe. So this one, yeah, but actually I don't need it at all. So I can keep 1. I will keep the Western Trillium, and I will put this one under the stack. So you see, now we have 2 cards here as stored energy that we can use to pay for cards. And this counts for all of the stacks except the one in the bottom left because that one is not adjacent. All right, nice. And we now have another yellow card here in this canopy. So now we have 3 cards in our canopies with the yellow symbol. That is cool. All right, so let's see what else we can do. This is going to be played at top elevation. Let me look at the top now, what we can do there. Like these can all be played at the top elevations here, right? We have 2 that we want to keep on top, one of them, because they give more points. This one gives plus 3 points if at middle elevation at the top. Oh, we could like place this there then. That would be amazing. And this one gets +3 if placed in top elevation. So you want to play these at towards the end of the game, right? And so that means we can place this at the top elevation. This one, when played, costs -1 if grown on an empty space. And draw 2 cards. 4, 5. That's amazing. Let's do that. So you see, I have like a little card draw engine here. Let me just put these a little bit down. Little card draw engine. That means I don't really have to do the gather plants action a lot, right? Because that one depletes also like the deck quicker, right? That's pretty good. I want to play this for sure. And this one costs -1 if grown on an empty space. This would be an empty space, right? So I will just play this there. This now costs 1 -1, so 0, right? And I can draw 2 cards. Do I have any good cards here? Now I want to get through the deck a little bit quicker, right? Because I do have these 4 yellow symbols in my canopies. And I don't really want to build over them. But let's see, whatever I build over them. This is 1 meter. These are all kind of bad. This one is the one with the corner of your region. I want to place it maybe at the bottom towards the end of the game. So this one isn't that interesting at the moment. These are for the end of the game. I can build over this one with these 2. No, only with this one here. That's fine. This one doesn't help me at all at the moment. Let's see. Okay, so reaction. Whenever you grow a water plant, like a half water plant, like a mid-blue symbol, so to speak, at this elevation, draw a card. This one doesn't really help me too much. When played, discard 2 adjacent stored energy if you do draw a visitor card. Oh, can I do this? 0.2. No, I can only build it down here. And there is no adjacent stored energy. Oh, that's bad. You know what? Let me just draw 2 cards from the deck and see what I get. Whatever I get. Arbitus. When played, discard 3 cards from your hand. If you do draw a visitor card. That could be kind of cool. Actually, that could be kind of cool. I could like build that over here maybe or something. And this one says, whenever you grow a full water plant in an adjacent place, draw a card. That is not very interesting. That is like fodder for discarding. You know what? Let me do the Arbitus now. I can put that over here. That'll be kind of good. And when played, discard 3 cards from your hand if you do draw a visitor card. There are some cards I don't really need, right? So they'll be kind of good actually, right? So let me put this one here. This costs me 3 -3, so it costs me nothing. I can place it at the lowest elevation. That's fine. This one is a half, like a half sun symbol, like a shade. Has like this shade symbol, so that is totally fine. So I can build this over here. When played, discard 3 cards from your hand if you do draw a visitor card. Let's just do that and see what happens. So let's see. These 2 I want to keep. This one isn't very interesting. This one could be interesting. I would like to play this at some point. This one is kind of interesting. This one is not interesting. That's 2. And then let's see. Which one of these is more interesting now? This one, when covered, draw 2 cards. And this one is when covered, store any 3 cards from the discard pile under this stack. I think this is more interesting later on. So let me discard this one as well. And now I can draw a visitor card. So now I draw a visitor card here. The Douglas Squirrel, if I have 2 of these brown symbols at the end of this round, then I also get this card, or like 3 at the end of the last round. Okay, so far we don't have any of those, but let me just put that as a reminder like up here, so I know to also keep that in mind later on. Okay, that was my turn. So I don't have a whole lot to play anymore, right? This one here I would like to play, but I can also only play it here, which would be fine, but I can't pay for it because I don't want to pay those. So I would actually draw a card, I think. Actually, no. I covered this here, right? And I covered a yellow symbol. I still have that reaction, so I can just draw a card. Let me draw something that I want to discard later on. This one is not very interesting. Let me draw this one. So we replenish this here. Oh, the deck is almost empty, but that's fine. And because I do have the scoring condition at the moment. Okay, so then I want to play this one here. I'm going to play this one down here at the lowest elevation. This one costs 1, so I will just discard this one here. I can't discard any of these 2 because they're not adjacent, so I will just discard this one here. And this one, like when covered, draw 2 cards. All other players may draw a card from the deck. So these I want to keep for later. I do have like 4 yellow symbols in my canopy, so that is good. That means I can do a draw card action. The shore pine would now start to get interesting. And I want to put this one here at the end. I want to put this one here at the end or there. And this one I want to put there at the end. Actually, this one not at the end. I can also like place it earlier. So this one is interesting towards the end of the game. I don't need it at the moment. So let me get this later. This one, when played, discard 2 adjacent stored energy. If you do draw a visitor card, I can't play this anymore. So it doesn't make sense. At the start of your turn, draw a card from the deck. If you do, return a card from the hand to the bottom of the deck. We can like cycle a little bit. But I can only, but I can play it at the top. Because the elevation here, like, the height of the plant is too low for these here. But I could play it at the top if I wanted to. It would be kind of interesting. You know what? Let me take this one. Why not? And then also draw one from the deck. So, and now because I did the gather action, I need to discard a card. Doesn't really matter. Let me discard this one, and then we replenish the deck, and the deck is empty, right? So we now take a look at the visitor scoring condition. It says like I need 4 in the canopy, 4 yellow ones. I do have these symbols here. Even 5 I have, so I actually gain that card. Let me put the gained visitor cards here in a stack in the top left. Take a little like half off screen. I think that works. And then we have the new cards here that we shuffle with the discarded cards and also the ones that are still left in the nursery. Then we shuffle these up. Let me just do it like this. And now we enter the last round. We need 4 sun symbols. So we need to try to have like 4 like sun symbols at the top, but that will hardly work because I'm going to cover like lots of those. So I don't think we can make that. So we need to get points some other ways. So the more cards you play, the more points you get, obviously, right? So yeah, let's just see. Let's just see how many points we will get. Okay, so last round. Let's see what we can do. So I would like to play. What did I say? I want to play this one here at the top. Do I have anything in between, like 1.8, 0.2? Nothing at the moment. So I could play the 2.5 meters up there. That would be okay. This would only cost me 1, 2 minus 1, right? And also I can discard one of those, so it would be free. And this like lets me like cycle through the deck. That is not too bad, actually. That is not too bad. So yeah, let me play this one up here. Cost me 1, so I will just discard one of those stored energy cards here, like this. And then I will put this here on top. I did play, I did cover a yellow card. I still have that effect, that reaction, so I can draw a card. These are all not really interesting, right? So I will just draw a card from here, like that. The shore pine. +2 if at a corner of your region. Yeah, I actually want to place it in one of the corners. So these are all cards I have to play later, right? And this one here, this one costs -1 if taller than all adjacent plants. Where can I place this one? This is like very tall. So I want to place this one here in the bottom. I want to place this one there. So I can place this one maybe here. That would be okay, right? But then I would lose these 4 points, but I would get 5 points. It would be free, right? So I actually get 1 point more. That's not too bad. You know what? I will do that. I will build this one over here. It is taller than all adjacent plants, so it will cost me 1 less. -3, that's 0, right? So we turn this one over. Let me put this at the bottom as stored energy. And then we put that one here. Nice. Not bad. We are getting like some nice trees down. There's actually one card that gives you points for adjacent trees, but I haven't seen it yet. So I suppose either it's like among the last 6 cards we added to the stack, to the deck, or it is part of the other 60 cards that we didn't choose for the game, right? Okay, so this playthrough takes longer than I thought because this is like a very thinky game, but it's very good. Alright, so I need to draw a few cards, right? I need to draw a few cards, so let's see. These are all not interesting. So yeah, let me draw 2 cards. I can also like draw a card from the deck and then return one card under the deck, but these I want to all keep, so not for now. Let me just draw 2 cards. These 2 here, the Bunchberry and the Western Red Cedar, and then we do discard one card. This one was not interesting. So let's do it like that. 0.25 meters. I could place that here. That's actually kind of nice. I think I will do that because if I cover this one, I can draw 2 cards, right? Also, I just keep the points because it's shade, so I don't have to turn it over. That's pretty good. I think that's just a nice free card to play because 1 minus 1, right? So let me just place that one right here, 0.25 meters, and then I can draw 2 cards. This one, scoring, +3 for each mountain heather in your region. I don't have any, I think, right? No, and I haven't seen any either, so I don't want this. I still don't want these two, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards right here. Nice card draw mechanisms, very good. Also, I covered a yellow card, yellow symbol, so I can draw another card. All right, so 2, 4, 6, 7, that's the max. And now we need to be careful because we're almost done. So now I kind of need to like place all my trees and stuff, right? So I'm going to try to place everything that I want to place now. Let's see. 0.2 meters, this one doesn't fit anywhere. This is for discarding. Then you put that one like half off screen here. These are my cards to discard. 60 meters, when played, store any one card from the discard pile under each stack with a tree in it. Ooh, this one would be like one for the end. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, this is amazing. Because like stored cards, remember, like also grant 1 point. This one I'm gonna put at the top, but there's still room because this is 2.5 meters. This is 50. This one I want to put there. No, actually I want to put it there. 3 meters, 35. Okay, still a little bit of room. This one I want to place in the corner here, in the corner of my region. Because that would then give me +2 points, so 6 points altogether. That's not too bad, but that would cost me quite a bit at the moment. This one, the Pacific Willow, 12 points. Also scoring +2 if at lower elevation. Yeah, that could kind of go in the middle, maybe. Okay. And the Vine Maple, 7 meters. When played, costs -1 if grown adjacent to a taller plant, which is kind of, yeah, which is not too easy. I can only put it then here. But it would cost me nothing pretty much. So yeah, I could actually do that. This wouldn't hurt me at all. I think I will do that, yeah. And it doesn't really matter where I place it. Oh, well, the reaction, I want to keep that. So I will put this one here. That works at middle elevation. That's fine. This one cost me 2, -2, and even -1, so it cost me like really nothing. And when played, cost -1, exactly. I did cover a yellow symbol, so I can draw another card. 0.4 meters, I could place it here, but it's like the reaction isn't very interesting. I could place it here for free towards the end just for that extra point. That's fine. So now I want to place all the cards. That's kind of an issue, right? But I don't need to draw too many cards anymore. So I think we can now build over our card draw engine here. Let me just put this down a little bit because we are getting a little bit low on space here. Okay, so let me put the False Lily of the Valley right here. 1 -1 cost me nothing, so that's fine. We did cover a yellow symbol, right? So I can draw another card. So, and now we need to try to put all the cards down. 0.2 meters, I can't place this anywhere, it's too tall, so I can put this on my stack here for cards I want to discard later on. And now we'll just go by elevation, right? So this one I want to put at the bottom someplace. I think I wanted to put this in the middle. This would be 3 -1. That's two cards I have to discard, but I can still do these two energy ones here, right? So I think that's fine. Let me put that one right here and discard these 2 stored energies like this. All right, then let's do the next turn. So we do have 2 suns here, right? I need 4 for that card. Maybe we can still pull it off. No, I don't think so. We only have this sun here. It's going to be rough. Let's see. This one gives me +2 if at corner of my region. So these are all I want to place these all in different elevations, right? But these are like really expensive. I can't really afford these. This one is also nice, but it's like way too expensive. I think I need to draw more cards, but if I draw 2 more cards, the game is over. Actually, you do get, like in a solitaire game, you actually do get 1 more turn after the deck has been depleted the 3rd time, right? So I can kind of work with that, but we will not be able to place everything here, right? We will not be able to do so. So what I think instead do is see which ones give the most points. These all give 4 points. This one +2, +3, +3. Okay, this one here costs 2. And this one costs 2 as well. So it doesn't really matter which ones of these two I place. This one is like a pretty cool one, right? That one is pretty cool. This one could give me that sun symbol, but I need 4 anyway. Is there one that I could play here? No, these are two. Yeah, I will not be able to get this one here. No, not at all. So I will place this one, I guess, up here. I guess, yeah, I will place this up here. 4 minus 2, that costs me 2 still. Yeah. So let me, I think, discard these 2. And now I will just do a gather action and play this one. And then I think we are done pretty much, right? So let me just draw 2 cards. Doesn't matter which one I draw. Let me just draw these 2. So now the deck is actually depleted, right? So I have 1 more turn, then the game ends. So how this works is, what I want to do is I want to play the subalpine fir over here, like this. 4 minus 2, it still costs me 2. So I can discard these 2. Oh, wait a second. Instead of having discarded these 2 earlier, I could have discarded the ones that I put aside, right? And then I wouldn't have drawn the card, well, but it doesn't really matter, I think. But still, I still would have drawn the 2 cards. Here I need to play 2 cards. I will discard these 2, and I still have 2 cards in hand at the end of the game. That's fine. That's okay, because these grab me another point. We will now count up our points. So let me just put like this piece of paper here. Yeah, we count up all our points. There is actually like a card here, a scoring card in the game. It's like a regular playing card, so I don't think you can actually like write on it, right? But I guess you could like copy it maybe or something like that, and then you can put in your points here. I will just use it as a reference. Oh, by the way, end of the round, right? I would have had to discard this one because we didn't actually get that one, right? So, and we also didn't get the scroll one, right? No, but only barely. Like this one and also the other one that we didn't get. I only got those like barely not, right? So I could have had 10 more points. But okay, so now we will take a look at all the plants. So we will take a look at all plants that are that have like the score in the top right or in the bottom right if I didn't have to cover them. Let me just see here. Let me just check if I did everything correctly. I think I did. I didn't cover any sun symbols, right? No, I think I didn't. That is good then. Okay, that's fine. Let me just check these 2, just to mix. Oh, this one. I would have had to turn over actually. So I did have 1 more energy. But okay, then we have that 1 more stored energy. I forgot about that. Okay, so plants. That's 4, 6, 10. 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30. That's 35 points. Then we get all the scoring effects. This one is +3. This is +3. That's 6. +2. That's 8. And that's +1 for each fern. I have 2 ferns. Exactly. So what was that? 3, 6, 8. +2. That's 10. Okay. Then stored energy, we get 1 each. Yeah, I have 1 right there. Then visitors, we only have this hummingbird, which is another 5 points. And then we have the elevation roll bonus, right? So I did I don't have any like single cards. That is good. So this one here has 2 plants in it. This one doesn't count. That is just energy. So 2 plants times 2, that's +4. Then here the smallest stack is that one, another 4 points. And here the smallest stacks are these 2, so another 4 points for one of these stacks. Then cards in hand, I get 1 point per 2 cards. That's another 1 point. So that is 24, and that is 64. 64 points. That is okay, but it's not amazing. So that is our score. And what we will now do is, now we will take all cards that are not part of the plants that we actually built here, right? That means the stored energy, the cards here, then all the discarded cards and the cards in our hand. Like all plants that we didn't build, we will also count up those points. That's 5, 9, 10, 14, 16, 17, 21, 23, 25, 27, 28, 30, 33, 35. So that means the score we need to reach is 35 plus the ones that we actually built, 35, right? So that means our target score is 70, right? That is like the score of all the plants in our game. And we need to reach that score in order to win, right? And we only got 64. But that is not too bad. That's actually one of my better games, right? We are only like 6 points off, right? That means I actually did lose the game, but only by 6 points, right? Had I gotten just these 2 visitor cards, right, I would have won. But I was only always like 1 short. But yeah, this is how you play Reforest, Plants of the Pacific Northwest. This is an amazing game. So let me just say a few things about the game. Just ramble on a little bit and tell you why I like this game. So first of all, this is like a really compact game, right? It's just cards. It's just this deck of cards. It's a little bit thicker than a regular deck of cards, sure, but it's just a deck of cards, and you have so much depth in this game. The rules are pretty simple. Once you know how they play, how the rules work, they are pretty simple. Also, it's a really small package, so that means you only have a bunch of cards, and you have like very little rules, very few rules, but you have so much depth. This game really, really works my brain, but in a good way, right? There are also other games where like have the have the feeling that I'm just being overwhelmed by like all the decisions I have to make. But here it's like it's a lot, yes. You can plan a little bit ahead, right? If you like see, okay, you have like seen 2 ferns already, right? Then you can like kind of work around that, right? Because these like go together well, right? So really, really amazing how elegant this game is, with just few components and few rules, have such gameplay depth, right? Also, this game has like a lot of replayability because there are like different visitors, right? Like, look at these. Like, there are even more visitors here, and they all work very differently, and depending on how the cards come out, because you choose in a solo game, you choose 30 cards. But there are 90 here, right? So you could like just shuffle the deck and then play a game with 30 cards, and a game with the other 30 cards, then third game with the last 30 cards, and then shuffle out the deck again, for example. Or you could, like, every after game, shuffle up the deck again, have even more replayability, right? Because, like, some cards could be in every game or whatever, right? You have, like, so many combinations here, and so far I did not have the feeling that there are too many cards, right? Like, yeah, sometimes you can just have this one fern that says +1 for each fern in your region. Well, it would just also, like, trigger itself, right? But then you may not be able to stack it with other ferns, but that's fine. There's so many other cards that you can work with. You can only have 6 scoring conditions maximum anyways. I only had 4, right? So it doesn't really matter. Then just build over it, right? It's still okay. So there's like lots you can do here. That's amazing. Then the theme is very nice because I like nature themes a lot, and this one like really like brings home the forest theme because you do have like different elevations. You also have like different heights of plants, and if plants are okay to live in the shadow of other plants, that's cool. They still score, they're still there, and they still give you like the bonuses here. That's fine. If they are covered, then they will die, but they are like nutrients for other plants, so you can use them to pay, right? So like actually it's like quite thematic. It's not too bad. I think the theme is implemented quite well. Also, I like that you are building this pyramid, right? It's like looks like kind of a tree shape again. I just like that touch. I don't know if that is if that was intended like that to also be like tied into the theme visually a little bit, but I like that quite a bit. The way that you have only a limited space to build your forest is great. Like, take something as Forest Shuffle, right? Forest Shuffle also works with different combinations, and that you're trying to like build up your forest. But you actually have like single trees with like stuff on top, below, on the left and right of them. But you have like a huge footprint for that. It's an amazing game, right? Multiplayer, solo, whatever. It's a really great game, Forest Shuffle, but it takes a lot of table space. This doesn't. Right? You have just this pyramid. Yeah, sure, you have like a few cards to draw and stuff, but still, it takes up very little table space. I don't think you could play it on like an airplane or like on a train tray, right? Might be a little bit too large for that, but still like pretty small footprint. If you have like 1 hour lunchtime during a day or something, you could squeeze a game in for sure. I played this video, took longer, but just because I was like talking a lot, I was explaining the game and whatever, right? So it took a little bit longer, but I can get a game down here in like half an hour approximately, right? Pretty cool. But it is very thinky. That's one thing to keep in mind. But it's like the good kind of thinky, in my opinion. The design I also like a lot. I think like the drawings are really, really pretty. The animals as well as the trees, and also like they have a really good quality, like the entire game. The cards have a great quality, right? They're like they're a linen finish and they feel great, have a nice thickness. These are really, really nice. And also the cardboard is very cool. Of course, it will like over time it will probably like show a little bit of wear, but actually you can get this, you can open this quite easily. There are like boxes that are not as easily opened, right? And also it's like a really nice like cardboard. It's like feels really natural, right? And this fits the theme, right? It's not like too many components, it's not like any plastic or whatever in here, like really, right? So it's nice. It fits like the theme of being like this nature themed and like this organic kind of nature theme. So very, very cool. I like this a lot as well. There is also an event module. I have taken a look at the rules, but I haven't played with it yet. But it's cool that you have even more variety here. I haven't played the multiplayer mode yet, but I can imagine it's very good as well. You will have, of course, like another aspect to the game, which I find very positive. You will have player interaction by like trying to competing for these goals, and you always have like the same cards like in the nursery you work with, right? So you can actually like take cards that further your goal, but that also means you have like one turn less to actually play your cards. So very nice balance there. I haven't played the multiplayer mode yet, but it sounds like something that could work really well. I don't know if you want to play it at a 2-4 player count. I think you want to play it mostly with people who don't suffer from analysis paralysis, so who don't need like 5 minutes to think over the turn, because this is a very analysis paralysis heavy game. Even I sometimes sit here and think for like a minute, like, okay, what am I going to do now? I have no idea. And this is like another, like this ties into another like really positive aspect of the game, because you have so many decisions that you want to make, right? You want to play the cards you have here, but you also need to pay with them, right? But you also want to draw cards. But if you draw cards, especially in a multiplayer game, like the deck gets more depleted faster, and especially in the solo game, because you like have to discard one more card from the nursery. I wouldn't forget this in this video, but there's so many decisions you want to make, and you can't do everything, because like getting the visitor cards is actually quite tough. Also, depending on what cards come out. But that is like another really good aspect of the game. I've played this game, I think, 4 times now, and first of all, I still want to play it. Although this is like I think I have never won the game. Like I've come close, but I've never won the game. But I still want to play it. It's still fun, and that like speaks really for the game. If you don't win, but still want to play, and also I have the feeling that like no matter how you shuffle the cards, you're always able to like get the visitors down, or like to fulfill the visitors' goals, or to like have like a nice engineer. I've never had the issue that I can't work with the cards that I get. That's good. That means that the game is like balanced in a really, really good way, to make it like hard and give you a challenge, but always like you always have the option to win. I think I could have done it. I think I could have like won had I just played a little bit better. But that's cool, because you actually get better like the more often you play this game. So there isn't really anything negative about the game that I can say. So this like is like an absolute hit for me. This is absolutely amazing. I now understand why you, as the community, suggested that to me, because a few people were telling me I really need to get this game. I would like it. And yes, I absolutely like this. And that means that I will award this game easily the Golden Thecos Ace of Games Award. And I can imagine this like climbing quite high in my all-time solo favorite list. This is really good. I don't see it falling off anytime soon. I don't see it becoming boring anytime soon. Small deck of cards, I can take this anywhere. It's like really thinky. It's really, really good to jog my brain without being too much. Really amazing, really elegant. If you just remotely enjoyed what you saw today, I can just suggest you get this game. And as I said, when this video goes up, I think 2 days later, should be May 6th then, I think. The campaign for the expansion should go live. I'm really looking forward to the expansion. I think there will also be a few solo things, so I don't know. I hope that the expansion will be like really interesting. Not add too many cards here. Maybe a few more visitor cards would be great. Not too many plans, because I think it's like really balanced well at the moment. But if they are able to like add a few more plans that don't like throw off the balance, amazing. A few visitor cards would be amazing. Maybe a few like 1 or 2 like solo mode ideas would be great. And also I hope for like a big box, so to speak, right? Like an option to like get the expansion with a larger box. So I have only 1 box for everything. That would be great. So yeah, I cannot recommend this game enough. I absolutely love this. But before I just talk too much about all of this, I would just end this video here. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for staying to the very end. And as usual, I would like to thank you all for your support. Especially I want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. And the biggest thanks go out to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. You can support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon, and joining my Discord server to hang out with me in my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.